He died 387 after the Hijrah. After the Hijrah. 300 years after the Hijrah of the Prophet ﷺ. Listen to what Ibn Battah says. He says, أحدها, the first type, أن يعتقد العبد ربانيته ليكون بذلك مباينا لمذهب أهل التعطيل الذين لا يثبتون الصانع. He says the first thing is upon a person that a slave believe in the lordship of Allah. So he could be with that, staying away from the people that say that worship Allah and say that He doesn't exist. Okay? It's the first one. The second one, أن يعتقد وحدانيته ليكون مباينا بذلك مذاهب أهل الشرك الذين أقروا بالصانع وأشركوا معه في العبادة غيره. The second type is to believe in the oneness of Allah. So you can stay away from those who basically commit shirk with Him, ta'ala, and they affirm that Allah, even though they affirm the existence of Allah, however, they commit shirk with Allah, ta'ala, in His worship. That's what Tawheedul-Rububiyyah, Tawheedul-Uluhiyyah. طيب. The third is أن يعتقد موصوفا بالصفات التي لا يجوز إلا أن يكون موصوفا بها من العلم والقدرة والحكمة وسائر ما وصف به نفسه في كتابه. That a person has a firm creed and belief that Allah is described by the characteristics except not, it's not permissible for Him to be described except the way He says in the book of Allah and the Sunnah of the Prophet ﷺ. For example, from knowledge, qudra, hikmah, and all the other things that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala described Himself. That's Tawheedul-Uluhiyyah, Tawheedul-Rububiyyah, Asma wa Sifat. That's three categories by Ibn Battah. And he died 387 of the Hijrah. Was between him and Shaykh al-Islam about maybe, okay, we'll say about 500 years, 400 years. Fine. Who is else from the ulama that says that back then? Now we will come from another Imam. His name was Ibn Manda. Ibn Manda died the year of 395 of the Hijrah, which is between him and Shaykh al-Islam, how many years? 400 or 500 years. Listen to what Ibn Manda says. In his book, he says, فَفِي كِتَابِ كِتَابُ التَّوْحِيدِ وَمَعْرِفَةُ أَسْمَاءِ اللَّهِ وصفاته على الاتفاق والتفرد ذكر أقسام التوحيد واستعرض كثيرا من أدلتها في الكتاب والسنة بشرح وبسط لا مزيد عليه. As Ibn Manda, as he mentions in his book, of the knowledge of Allah and His name and attributes, and what? That He's also singled out in His worship. That's Tawheedul-Rububiyyah, Tawheedul-Uluhiyyah, wa Asma wa Sifat. All three. That was Ibn Manda. Even Abu Hanifa. If you want to go to Abu Hanifa, he says the same thing, and all to the end of it, to the end of it, to the end of it. All the different scholars that talk about the three categories of Tawheed. Now we're going to look to what? The people of Al-Bid'ah. Even though the Aqsam al-Tawheed is warped, they even try to make the Aqsam al-Tawheed 3. So a person, if you see him defending, they'll say, why are you making Aqsam al-Tawheed 3? The people who you defend, they try to make their Tawheed 3 types too. Why? How come you don't say anything to them? As you will see, inshaAllah, bi'idhnillah. As Shaykh al-Islam Ibn Taymiyyah, he mentions, and he says that فإن عامة المتكلمين الذين يقررون التوحيد في كتب الكلام والنظر في غايتهم أن يجعل التوحيد ثلاثة أنواع. He says if you look for the majority of those who involve themselves in rhetoric and speech, they affirm to Tawheed, even in their books of rhetoric and bid'ah. He says their ghaya, the thing what they try to meet, or the goal that they try to meet, is to make Tawheed 3 types. This is all to prove that what? In this book called Al-Qawl al-Sadid, في الرد على من أنكر تقسيم التوحيد, which is a major book to show those who try to what? Say that the 3 types of categories of Tawheed is false. And you just read it from what? And they say that it's just Shaykh al-Islam, he started it. Nobody else started it. We just mentioned 3 scholars. And it has a whole bunch of other scholars that mention the 3 different aqsam of Tawheed. Barakallahu fikum. And just to remind the brothers and the sisters, like I just said in the early part of the muhadara, Reading Kitab al-Tawheed in your house. Just sit in there and read it. It's not enough. You have to come to a class. You have to read the explanation of the scholars. Reading the book in your house, as a person came to me, they said, Kitab al-Tawheed, I'm not really feeling it. A brother just told me the other day, he came to me and said, when you hear an explanation of it, you love the book. It's not a book you just read at home. You have to hear it, explain it, listen to a teacher teach it, and the person will enjoy the book. As the thing that will save you from being in hell forever is in Kitab al-Tawheed. And this is why Sheikh Muhammad Abdul Wahab, until this day, you still see people trying to destroy his da'wah. How many people I heard, I bet you majority of the people here, say that Muhammad Abdul Wahab is a kafir. Or you might try to hear some people say that Muhammad Abdul Wahab is affiliated with terrorism. Why? Because of the jealousy of the people for Muhammad Abdul Wahab. Because what he taught is going to save every human being that you see in the street. That which he called to is going to make them happy in this world and the hereafter. Do you really think the people want you to do that? That's the reason why they try to warp his reputation. Barakallahu feekum. We'll stop here and we'll go to our brother Adam. Inshallah, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala. I hope you will give him attentive ear. Inshallah.